Good evening, everyone, and a welcome back to round 7 of Tier 1 in IRC. We've obviously had quite a few races before this, the Tier 3 and Tier 2. We are here for the fastest drivers in the server, the Tier 1. Let's quickly, do we have a track guide or no?
We do have a track page.
Let's quickly get into that, Deepak.
So this is a 4.9 kilometer long track in Emilia Romagna, and it's got one DRS zone, just one straight, which leads up to turns 2 and 4, which are the prime overtaking spots in the circuit. And you also got a few other corners which are quite tricky and technical to handle, like the Aqua Minerale and the Piratella, which are extremely loaded on the tires, literally puts a lot of stress on the traction, and whoever gets the best traction out of those is going to be having a lot of fun in this particular circuit.
Indeed, a pretty high speed first. I would say the first straight, and then you got a lot of twisties. Sector 2 and Sector 3. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of a setup these guys go with. You can go with low wing setups. You can even go with high wing setups over here. So it's going to be an interesting mix of what kind of setups these guys go with.
Yeah, speaking of that, like you said, because sector 1, of course, it's a straight and a few corners, which means that lower downforce benefits you quite a lot, whereas sectors 2 and 3 are highly technical and you need a lot of the downforce to get you through. So that's going to be one of the conundrums that the drivers are going to face, which sector to prioritize or make a compromise, or how they're going to do that. That's going to be very interesting to see. And also this track, it has a slightly higher chance of rain, I would say. I mean, not extremely high, but the chance of rain is always a bit higher in this particular track, so that could also be an interesting factor to look forward to.
Indeed, we saw what happened IRL as well, but yeah, at least in the virtual world, we are lucky enough to have a race. We don't know if it's rainy or it's going to be dry, but yeah, just happen to have a race over here. And of course, these guys are, one of the best drivers out there, so they don't really have SS as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys tackle all these traction zones and whatnot. And of course, the DRS is such a huge thing that aids each and every driver in Imola. So yeah, overall, going to be interesting to see how these guys just go through, and of course a very critical turn 1 as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait for quali, then the race, to see what happens in T1.
Yep. So unlike last weekend, this weekend isn't a sprint weekend. So it's going to be the normal short quali session. It's going to be for 18 minutes and a 50% race. I believe it's a 32 lap race in the circuit. So that's going to be the format for this weekend. And yeah, while we wait for this, shall we just go to the driver standings?
Yeah, just waiting for these guys to come out on track, and I can already see Alfa Romeo and a Ferrari coming out to set their laps. So yeah, Baba G, of course, he's one. We've seen quite a lot of these drivers putting in some very decent laps, and then really making good use of that in the race as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top and who can keep that pace throughout the 32 laps.
So this weekend again, the attendance has been a bit lower from the top echelons. So we do see that the championship leader Helium is not in this round as of now, which is definitely gonna give the chance to the guys who are following close next behind him. We've got Aradhya Gupta, who is 11 points short of P1, so he's going to be having a good run at it, and so does Ariel ST, who is at 94 points at the current moment, and followed by Pre the Pro in 85. So yeah, those guys will be looking to maximize whatever points that they could get from this week, and make some real inroads into taking some points away from Helium as much as they could.
Indeed, and a name that I actually see over here is Catty. So he's an Xbox driver. We've seen that he's pretty quick, and yeah, he's just come to this. I think this is his first race in T1, and we know that he has the pace. So let's see where he puts that Alfa Romeo of his.
As we're on board couple who's starting the first hot lap of the session, and he's heading down into turn attack play turn 2. Gets his right, maybe hooks up the curve a little too much, and that causes him to go around. That's going to be happening quite a lot. You take the curve a little too much, that curve bites you back.
Indeed, that's unfortunate for him, but we do have SSJs on board right here, and yeah, it's a decent time till now. I guess, hasn't really made any mistakes. Of course, he could have been, caught off guard because of the spin that Kapit had in front of him on a hot lap, which is, you try and avoid those. But yeah, till now, keeping it pretty clean, touching all the apexes into Aqua Minerale now, a very, very important part of the track, because this traction zone can actually make or break your whole lap. So keeping it pretty clean till now, going into the sector 3 soon, tackling those chicanes pretty well. A bit of oversteer, I think, over there, just losing the car a little bit. But yeah, overall, this looks like a pretty decent lap from SSJ till now. Going to the final, of course, corner now, and coming out of the final turn, what kind of lap time can he put? We saw 115s in the afternoon today, and that's a 116.0. So as a banker lap, that's a very, very good lap by him.
Yep, that's a really good banker considering the track is still not evolved. And we got Logesh also putting up a 16.2, a very close lap.
Indeed, and of course, Kapil had a spin, unfortunate, so he's off the pace right now, but of course, he will get a lot of chance. We still have around 13.5 minutes left, so yeah, a lot of time for these guys to just come back. Just have to set the tankers right now, and yeah, SSG are doing pretty well as of now, and we still have to see the likes of Free to set a lap time, and even the other guys, like, we got FIFA Kanak, we got Catty, so a lot of fast drivers who haven't really set their times yet. So yeah, this timesheet is going to go down eventually.
Yep, like you're saying, as the track evolves and as the drivers get their eyes sorted, get into the groove, we'll be seeing lap times tumbling down quite a lot. So we are not still there yet, but we'll be there soon.
Yeah, so I've actually seen a few drivers going for 2 banker laps. Sorry, I mean 2 runs on the same set of tires, and then going for a lap on the 3rd lap. So that's a very interesting start, because of course there's a lot of tire wear going through the first and second, or should I say the out lap and the first lap. So yeah, saw that in the race previously, which was there in the afternoon, and it actually did help them out because of lower fuel. So even that, these guys have to take care or take into account.
Generally speaking, it's not a very good strategy, but considering that this is just the first set of tires that they're going through, they usually do that. Like I said, it's the first set is never going to be your perfect lap. It's going to be your banker lap, and it's more like you trying to get into the groove and trying to assess the conditions around. So obviously, you'll see some people doing like extra runs on the first set of softs so that they have one more set of softs, that's fresh and unused for the race, in case of any late safety cars or things like that. So which is why you could see some runs that are quite long. Like as you can see, Streeter, he's on the hard tires right now, which is not a very good quality tire, but still he's on that because he just wants to save that one set of softs for that extra run. And if you see FIFA Kanak has come across the line in P6, 16.5. And FIFA Kanak is a Tier-2 driver. He's been given a reserve promotion to Tier-1. Let's see how he can impress among this Tier-1 grid. I'm pretty sure he definitely has got the pace to do a lot better.
Indeed, and we can already see that he's put that Alpine in P6, and SSJ goes faster, dips the Ferrari and the time to a 15.8. So yeah, as you were talking about earlier, these guys are going to go faster and faster, and yeah, the times are definitely going to tumble down. And of course, talking about times right now, we have Aradhya, who is second. We don't really have Helium, so that's a pretty that's probably going to take his lead, or at least chop his lead down. So that's going to be interesting to see where these guys can put themselves, because few races these guys obviously can't really race, but most of the times these trying to go for the WDC as well as WCC. So overall, Ferrari doing a very decent job, and so is, I think, Mercedes, if I'm not wrong.
Well, ironically, we're not seeing any Mercedes in this particular contest today. So, yeah, not looking good for the constructor side of things.
Indeed, and we still have 4 drivers who have to set a time. So yeah, Babaji, one of them. Looking at him right now, and let's see if he can put that
Oh.
Alpine. Okay, this happened twice now. Whoever we go on board with, they've spun out of turns 2 and 3. So I think we shouldn't be spectating these guys.
Was that some slipstream given? Oh, yes, that was SSJ. So, looks like some team play between the Ferrari boys going on.
They have been doing pretty well with each other, just talking to each other with setups and whatnot is what I've heard in the background. So yeah, it's just nice to see that all these drivers, even though they're competing for the WTC, are actually helping each other out a little bit here and there. And the timings right now, it is SSJ into the 115s, 115.8. We have Aradhya Gupta who was on 116.164, and Reality only a 10th, actually a 1,000th behind him.
We just now saw the prompt that ST has left the session, who was a lobby host. We just got the dreaded migrating host message. So I hope it's not a lobby restart, but I do think there could be a lobby restart once this quali session is over, just to keep any potential bugs out of the place. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on that once we get news about that. For now, we'll go on with the quali.
And Pre the Pro, only P2, so he got a slipstream from his teammate, but SSJ just super quick, a very good lap by him, of course. And yeah, Pre only able to get P2 with that lap. And we can see that Logesh has the purple sector 1 on the telemetry right now. Can he get, it's a green sector 2 as well, going through the chicane now. And yeah, let's have to see if he's able to collect that car and put in the best sector 3 of his life, because he needs this pole. And obviously these guys are just trying to get as good of a position as they can. And Logesh has done really well in the first sector. Can he put this car on pole? Yes, he can. 115.8. That's the fastest time to beat right now.
Yeah, that was a good lap. Although I think the Aquamentally exit was a bit sketchy. I thought for a moment he was going to invalidate the lap because it was so close to the track limit. Kudos for keeping it in, but I think he definitely got some more time there.
Indeed. And again, these guys still have a bit of time, towards the dying laps of the quali as well. I mean, around 3 minutes is when we see all of these guys just going out and putting those fast laps in, and not just chilling on hards and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see towards the end what kind of lap times these guys can put in with the evolved track as well. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and watch out for the faster, not the faster drivers, but yeah, the faster times to just get clocked.
Aradhya puts in a 15.8 and jumps over Pre the Pro just by a small margin. But yeah, he'll definitely be looking to improve on his final run that will be coming up.
Indeed, a lot of these guys just putting in some brilliant lap times in right now. And yeah, overall just bettering their times. So yeah, right now, as I said, it's like the dull period where most of these guys will be going back into the pits and just preparing themselves for the final shootout within the last 2 or 3 minutes, because that's when you get the maximum grip. And yeah, Kanak again going back into the pits because of maybe a slight mistake and invalidating his lap there.
Yeah, the invalidation of the final corner definitely hurts a lot, and just few meters away from finishing a lap and you get invalidated. So that's a bit bad, but anyway, he saves enough time by not having to do another lap, goes into the pits and to go prepare himself for the next one. And as we see, Baba is trying to put his first hot lap of the day, navigates the turns 2 and 3 successfully this time around without any issues. And let's see how he goes on with the rest of his lap.
Indeed, and Imola is a track where it's actually pretty easy to
Oh, he
invalidate
has
your lap.
invalidated the lap as we speak of it. I think he cut it too much on the entry of the chicane there.
And there we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's super easy to just invalidate your lap around Imola because just a slight bit of, let's say a oversteer or maybe even understeer, and you're out of the track. It's either a track extension or it's pretty hard to get a corner cut. But of course, we have the chicane right here, which I've seen a lot of people getting penalties over. So keeping it very clean during the race is going to be super, super important just for all these guys. And Akash Sonavde has set a 115.7, putting that Alpha Tauri into the lead. What a lap by him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, considering the fact that it's on a software that is another lap older, it's 2 laps older. It's definitely a good time. I mean, we did go on board him earlier, and we saw that he had aborted his lap, the previous one for whatever reasons. But yeah, I think he has managed to get it on the second attempt, and Ninja just making a very big track cut there, and he's still making those track cuts. Not really sure how the coordinators are going to be feeling about this, but. Yeah, moving on to someone else who is on a lap.
But yeah, as I was talking about this earlier, Deepak, so when you actually mess up your first lap, you can just save up your ERS and go for another one because the amount of fuel that you get is around 2.7 when you get out of the pits. So it is actually very feasible to go for, one extra out lap and just, make it a prep lap and then set it lap time, which is exactly what, Akash has done. And yeah, he has got the fastest lap right now, so definitely has worked for him. While we are looking at SSJ trying to put a faster lap in.
Oh, and he has invalidated the lap in the same chicane again, same place Baba had invalidated his lap. So, yep, gonna have to do it all over again for him.
That really is unfortunate. These guys have to, keep it in mind that it's very easy to invalidate over here, and even a slight mistake just like that
Well,
can cost you a whole lap.
that
So
was a
towards
good
the
save.
end, yeah, it was a really good save, but yeah, his lap is gone. He still obviously has time. He has 3 minutes. He can regen that ERS back and maybe go for another lap. But yeah, coming out towards the end of quali is going to be like it's going to be a pretty huge risk taken by these drivers because a slight mistake and your whole lap is invalidated.
Yeah, that factor is always there. So right now we've got Streeter and Baba who left it out all for their last runs, and SSA is starting his hot lap now, and looks like he's gonna have to contend with some traffic at the current moment.
Ooh, that was actually pretty close between him and the guys coming out of the pits.
Oh
But
no!
ooh, why did I say that he's spinning? This is actually like a curse. As soon as we go on to someone who's on a hot lap, they just spin out.
Well, we can't really help it, can we?
Indeed, but yeah, I don't think SSJ will be able to go out on another lap, and there's definitely not much time for him to get back to the pits and then go out. So I think that's the final, showing that we'll see from SSJ right there.
Yep,
Baba
looks like
finally
it.
coming out now. But yeah, Baba finally coming out now, and I think we should just go away from him because I don't want to see him spinning over here again. And yeah, he has managed to keep the car in bounds as well and not spin out. This is where he had invalidated the lap last time around. This time he does keep it clean, and yeah, pretty decent lap time till now. What do you think about that, Deepak?
I think he did have a bit of a wiggle in turns 1 and 2.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think he just got it going. I think right now he'll be happy if he just puts a valid time on board as it is.
Oh, that is true. He's one of the only guys who hasn't really put a lap time in, and no idea what Streeter is doing because he has just done 8 laps on those hards. Maybe just getting a bit of this in qualifying itself, and yeah, he's on an out lap. And while I'm talking about that, he makes a slight mistake, and yeah, that's his lap ruined, and chances of pole definitely gone.
Yep. Well, luckily for him, the lap did not get invalidated, so there's that. So he'll be having a time on board, but just not something that's going to be competent enough to challenge it at the top. And yeah, as expected, it is not that uh, good of a lap time. It's a 1:18.4.
Indeed, and to be honest, it's actually, pretty interesting to see these guys on top as well, because Akash Sanavde has put his car on pole right now. A very interesting line taken by Logesh, which invalidates his lap. It's going to be hard for him to make it till the end and, go for another lap. And yeah, Akash, the pole sitter right now, can he just keep this pole, or can the guys at the back like Pri, Aradhya, Katie, and everyone else pretty much put a
Aradia
faster
gets
lap in? And
57.
what a lap by him! I was literally talking about, can someone take it from Akash? And yeah, Aradhya has, but Akash is still improving. So there's a high chance that he gets this pole back from Aradhya.
Yeah, definitely his, but the second sector looks to be a bit odd. But let's see how he's done in the third sector. It looked like Chicken was a bit scrappy at best, but let's see. Oh my god, look at that gap up top. It's 0.002 that's separating Akash and Aradhya right now.
Only 2,000s between the pole sitter Akash and Aradhya, and I think the rest of the guys at the back have, done their laps and won't be improving. So yeah, congrats to Akash on that lap. That was so close. Of course, only 2,000 between them, and Streeter is still on those hard tires. No idea what he's doing, but yeah, hopefully we can see a good showing from him during the race now.
My guess is man is trying to get his race practice this session. There is no other way I could explain what was going on, but well, it is what it is. It's 13th position for him, and that's how quality done. And Akash Sonavane takes pole for AlphaTauri, and that gap is just so ridiculous. It's 0.002 that separates the pole sitter from Aradhya Gupta, who's in P2, a brilliant lap, and followed by Logesh, Pre the Pro, SSJ, Catty, Couple, ST, FIFA Connect, Ninja Zero, Simply YT, Baba, and Streeter.
The interesting thing is only a tenth between the top five. So the race is going to be extremely close and super interesting to say the least. So yeah, soon we'll be heading into the race, and yeah, it's going to be nice to see what these guys are going to do into turn one, because we've seen a lot of carnage before into actually both the Italian tracks are pretty notorious for their turn ones. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys manage to just go through there.
Yep, like you said, I mean, this is not as slow as Monza turn, where he just almost come to a stop, trying to make a way around. It's not that slow, but still, it is a bit of a narrow section, and you got those notorious sausage curbs on either side of the track, which means that you push your opponent a little too wide, and they're gonna go on the curve, lose control, and that could actually cause some a very big chain effect incident right behind. So it's a tricky start to go through. You could have another repeat of the Verstappen Hamilton start that we saw earlier when Verstappen pushed Hamilton almost onto the curbs. So yeah, it's always there. But let's see how these guys tackle it, because that's going to be very important, I would say.
Indeed, we've actually seen quite a few incidents before as well. Of course, we have seen a lot of IRL incidents as well, like Russell and Bottas. One of the incidents that has happened in the recent times. So yeah, let's just hope that these guys keep it clean and we have an entertaining race in front of us. Let's just hope for that.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. And I'm not sure about the weather conditions. We didn't get the weather telemetry prompt. I'm not so sure, but so far it looks like it's going to be a dry session till the end. So at least in that aspect, the drivers will not be challenged quite a lot. But a wet session will definitely be tough to handle.
Indeed, for these guys, of course, they don't even have SS on, so yeah, they have to be on the limit and completely focused for especially like actually even focus a bit more during the rain, of course. But yeah, because it's super easy to just lose your back in and send your car into the wall in drives itself. So yeah, Vets would have been a different kind of this focus that the guys would have needed. But yeah, Streeter right now we did see him on hards. Going to be interesting to see where what kind of strategy he comes up with.
That could be interesting. I think he's definitely going to be hoping for a lot of coverage up front and trying to capitalize on that. Considering that he didn't even take a proper quality effort, I think that's what his strategy is. And we are on the grid, and it is 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. It's a good start up front. Aradia gets a drive to penalty for jump start, not the kind of start he would have wanted. And Aradia is up ahead in front. He is taking over the lead, but still he's got a DD to serve, which is definitely going to make the party sour. And it looks like it's been a clean start right behind. Not a lot of jostling going on around. These guys have somehow sorted themselves into a single file as it stands. And yeah, looks good. We've got a position change right behind. Oh, never mind. We've got a bit of a traffic jam going on here. And yeah, that did not look good. We did see a few front wings flying around, and this is just too much. This is a proper gaggle of cars going on around, trying to sort themselves out, trying to juggle the positions here.
Indeed, and it looked very beautiful because we had two Alfa Romeos and on the left and two Alpines on the right with just a singular McLaren in between. So it did look very nice from that perspective. And yeah, Aradia getting a DT, that's something which will haunt him for sure, because you're trying to get the best exits and the best starts. But yeah, just a DT is not gonna help him at all. Real SD dropping all the way down to P12, and yeah, P13, where Streeter has actually done pretty decent to actually get up to at least one position. So of course, after DRS is open, if there's not much of a DRS train, we might see a lot of overtakes right here going into P2 and P3. Turn 2 and turn 3.
And if see Kati, Baba and Streeter have pit, so I guess it's their front wings that are missing. We did see a lot of carbon fiber flying around, so yeah, not an ideal start for them.
And we are talking about teammates helping each other out, and SSJ on the hunt and trying to get past Logesh, putting a car between him and his teammate, which is Pre, because otherwise it's going to get heated, a team battle itself. And yeah, they just try to avoid that. SSJ, a very good move on Logesh. Now up next is Akash.
Yep, so far it looks to be settled, and Haradia is trying to stretch out as much as he could be able to serve the DT, but it's definitely going to drop him back quite a lot. Right now, I think his hope is going to be that these guys fight out a lot more, giving him the pack getting scattered, and his position loss getting reduced a little. But that's going to be his plan. Let's see how it goes. And ST, I think he's still not connected back to the session, so it's just his ghosted AI car that's driving around. So easy positions for everyone around him.
That is true, and DRS is enabled now. So next lap we'll be able to see these guys just opening that rear wing, and that aiding them to overtake the cars in front. We did see Akash having a very good quali, but during race pace, SSJ is actually all over the back of him. So interesting to just see that. Oh, never mind. That makes a lot of sense. He's on mediums, whereas Akash is on actually hards. So SSJ is on it. He wants all the positions that he can get right now, and yeah, just trying to capitalize on that.
That makes sense why he was able to make the pass so easy on Logesh, because Logesh was also on hards, and right now he's under pressure from the other Ferrari of Peter Pro, who is also hounding right behind him, trying to get the move done. So yeah, two Ferraris trying to make some moves up ahead.
Yep, and only 3 drivers opting for the hards to medium strategy. So yeah, Aradhya still has to go and serve that drive-through. He has a 3-second gap till now, so yeah, he's done pretty well. Indeed, he's done very well to just stretch, not even stretch. It's like on those mediums, he's done like pretty decent lap times, and we see Akash getting overtaken by SSJ right in front, and yeah, that was obviously coming. And his teammate right behind him is also trying to put pressure on Logesh going down the inside. Can he go for a move? He backs out of it, and he just have to wait a little bit more to make the move. And Logesh goes wide into the gravel, and that is a Ferrari 1 and 3 as of now.
Yeah, that was I think that little bit of pressure thrown by the Pro at Logesh yielded him the results there, and Logesh just going a little bit wider, trying to maximize the exit over there, and yeah, that means that the Pro walks through there with ease.
Indeed, and both of them are on the mediums as well, so they have to be on the charge, trying to get a bigger gap to Akash Sonamde, who's on the hard tires on the alternative strategy. So he will be getting back at these guys towards the end of this race. At least that's what Akash is hoping for. So yeah, he does have pretty decent pace as of now, only 1.2 seconds behind SSJ, and yeah, SSJ setting the fastest lap of the race of 1:18.977. So yeah, slowly these guys will obviously get into the groove, start putting some times in, like consistent times in, and will Pre be able to just close up to Akash and overtake him? We'll just have to wait and watch how many laps it takes him to get close.
So far, Akash seems to be, like you said, so far he seems to be holding on to that place. The gap is not going quite to a huge amount. So he will definitely be hoping that he sticks it in the gap and not give them a free pit stop. And that will be really detrimental to his efforts, because the medium tires are going to be much more quicker at this moment. So he's got to bide his time, wait till the tire runs out and make his move. And actually, we're seeing another move was almost about to happen. Catty is sizing up Baba, but backed out of that at the last moment.
Yeah, the gap between these guys is only two tenths, and yeah, with the help of DRS and no one in front of Baba to help him out with DRS, it's going to be easy for Catty to just make a move on the pit straight. And yeah, with just the help of DRS, he'll be able to make a move very easily, because right now Baba is doing a pretty decent job of just defending him. And while I'm talking about that, Bree is going for a move down the inside of Akash, and that's a pretty easy move with the help of DRS. And of course, they are on split strategies. So now it's Bree versus SSJ. Will they fight it out? Will they just help each other out with DRS? We'll just have to see what kind of strategies do Ferrari boys come up with.
I mean, as it stands, I think it still stands the same for Akash Navane. If you don't fight it too much, that is a very brilliant choice if you ask me, because medium tires obviously going to be a lot quicker, and fighting with them is going to slow him down and bring him to the pack. So a good call, not fighting that. And now his aim should be to stick within the DRS as much as he could and stick with these guys, not give him a free run. And we see a person change down the order. Catty has made the move stick on Baba, and since I had a slightly compromised exit, that Baba is gonna have a bit intensified, but had a little bit of moment, which means that he has to back out for the moment.
Yeah, just got on the throttle a little too early and got all squally right behind Catty, and yeah, just couldn't really put the power down. And yet again, Baba is having a few issues with just traction as of now, and Aradhya overtaking the real SD's AI in the background. While we look at Kapil, who is, I think, yep, he does have DRS, so he will be catching up to Logesh. He is also on the mediums. So yeah, towards the end, Logesh and Akash are two drivers to look at, because they will be on the mediums with less of fuel load. And yeah, we'll just have to see what kind of lap times they're able to put in.
Yeah, that's a very important point. Like I said, there's a fuel load and a faster tire. It's going to be a very good combination. But this stint is going to be extremely crucial as well, because if they lose a lot of time to the cars up ahead, which means that that advantage that they're going to get in the second tires might not be that much usable. So how they handle themselves in this stint is going to be very crucial for the second strategy. Couple is making a little mistake and ultimately going wide and has to take avoiding action. Hopefully that's not a track warning, but this game is a bit strict at times, and that could be a warning as well. So better to keep an eye on that from all the drivers, because track warning penalties is another thing that could really break your result over here.
Indeed, and the only driver till now who has a penalty is simply Whitey all the way at the back with a 3 seconds. So we did see that popping up in I think lap 1 or 2 when he was trying to make a move, and yeah, just looking at the position gains or lost. Aradhya is the only person who has actually lost 6 positions, of course, with the drive through, but he's doing pretty all okay as of now to make kind of like a comeback because yeah, he's P8, not doing too bad himself. 4 seconds of Ninja in front, and yeah, the other drivers who have lost out are Catty as well as simply Catty losing 4 points, whereas simply losing only no, sorry, not points, positions of course, and simply losing 2 positions. So overall, both the Ferraris doing well with just getting a lot of uh, positions. And yeah, even FIFA Kanak, who is for the first time driving in T1, doing a very good job. And Akash Sunamne has left the session.
I was
That
wondering how
is definitely
Logesh
gonna.
made the move on Akash and then got this answer that Akash Gunani is disconnected. Not really helping his cause right now. It's gonna drop him down a lot more to the paths up ahead.
Indeed, and the AI is pretty slow compared to these boys, so it's going to be hard for. I mean, it's definitely going to be hard even if Akash comes back, he has a mountain to climb back to get back all the positions that his AI loses. But yeah, sometimes you just can't help it. Connection just goes off, and yeah, not much that he can do there.
Yep, not a lot that he can do except just hope that the game launches again as quick as it could and connect back as soon as he could. I hope everything is all good in his end, and let's see. Because I mean, already with the competition being distant, it would be really bad to lose another win contender. But let's see how it goes.
Indeed, Kapil right behind the AI of Akash can just breeze past his car, just drive through him. And yeah, next, as I was talking about earlier, FIFA Kanak in that Alpine doing pretty well for himself in P6, only 5 seconds off of Akash, and with him being in AI, he will definitely be able to catch him at least a little by a few more laps. And we see that Baba gets a penalty in the background.
Yep, like I said, the track limit forum penalties are going to be a very major part, and we could see a lot more penalties coming down, and that would be having a very important role to play in the closing stages on determining who's going to be finishing where.
That is true. And yeah, even now, Free is around 1.7 seconds behind SSJ. Another 3-second penalty for Simply, who is not able to keep the car in in bounds. But yeah, as talking about Pre, a 1.8 and 1.7 second gap is what they are maintaining to each other. It could be strategy, or maybe could be that SSJ is just faster than Pre at the moment. So yeah, the Ferrari boys not really closing the gap on each other and getting just having fights with each other. So it would have been fun to just look at these two go at it on track. But yeah, just the gap is just right there around. It was around 1.8. Now it's gone up to 2.3. So SSJ picking up the pace.
Or it could be that SSJ is just running a higher turbo setup that is helping him through the middle sectors, and probably Pre the Pros gaining on the straights over here.
That also could be true. But yeah, Aradhya getting a 3-second penalty in the background as well. And maybe Pre is just, conserving those tires and just chilling at the back because he knows that the main target was obviously, Logesh and Akash, and one of them has disconnected. So he can just take it a little easy and, just try and get a confirmed podium for both the Ferrari boys.
That could be a thing because as it stands right now, they stand a lot to lose when they fight rather than following each other and going up ahead. So it makes sense to just hold back just for the moment and unleash the full pace when it is actually time to do so.
For all these drivers on mediums, I think the pit window is around lap 16, 15, 16. So yeah, soon we'll be able to see a few pit stops, and yeah, we'll have to see where they come out. And can Aradhya, of course, he started I think on mediums as well. He's gone on to mediums again. So can he just stretch these tires and go on to softs? And we see a fight between Streeter and Simply going around the outside of Streeter. They have contact, and both of them have spun out. That is super unfortunate for Streeter because I'm pretty sure he has lost his front wing, and that's a DNF.
Looked like Streeter's car was in control. Did he just DNF? I think he just retired. Probably had enough. I'm not really sure what just happened, but yeah, that really looked very odd. That contact and the way both the cars just went out. Yeah, that's the first victim of the day. Streeter has decided that's enough, and that's a DNF.
Contact itself was, very slight, but yeah, we did see that Streeter's car touching, it did go and touch the wall. And yeah, unfortunate for him, his night is over. And we see that FIFA Kanak has actually overtaken Akash Sonavne here. He hasn't joined back yet, probably suffering from a power cut. And yeah, that's his chances of getting that podium or even the win just fading away slowly but surely. And Kapil also getting a 3-second penalty, next to his name.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few moments when you're on board him, so I think it's all catching up to him right now. So he's got a 3 seconds on his name, which he will be looking to, stay clear of it as much as he could in the closing season race. Which at the current moment he is pretty much clear of it and should be good. And Peter Pro has dived into the pits. Is he gonna pull off an undercut or not here?
The undercuts are very powerful in Imola, so yeah, it could be that Pre went in for an undercut. We just have to wait, a lap to see if SSJ does pit as well, or is he going to stretch those tires out and just wait it out.
So Kapil has also followed Peter Pro into the pits, and he is also on the hard tires. So they are going to be hoping for a good outlap so that they could catch up. But also the point to note is hard tires outlap, it's never easy. The temps are very low and it takes a while for the temps to build up. So it's going to be a very tricky outlap, and putting off an undercut with these tires is going to take a mega effort. But let's see how they are going to fare at it. As you see, Peter Pro is weaving around to get some temps, whatever that he could, into the tires there.
Indeed, and we'll just have to focus on SSJ as well, who again he has pit. So this is a very very crucial moment in the race. He was 2.3 seconds in front of before they planned to make the split. And Logesh stays out, and of course he's on the hard, so he will be staying out. And yeah, coming out to the pits now, and yeah, Pre is just coming on to the final turn right now. So I think SSJ will have it covered, but it's going to be super close towards the end of the straight.
And SSJ comes for behind Aradhya Gupta, who is still running around on the medium tires. So probably he is planning to do an overcut on these guys. But whatever it stands, he's going to be trying to make the most of it as it stands. And SSJ's priority right now will be to build the tire temps. And so that looks to be having that covered a little bit. It's not quite a lot of gap. So it seems to be all good for SSJ up front.
Pre definitely having a few issues on his outlap, and yeah, not being able to close that gap up. And yeah, it's still 2 seconds. SSJ is doing a very good job of keeping him at bay. This could really turn out to be a Red Bull versus Ferrari towards the end, and mostly a teammate battle as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the second phase of this race when the hard tires drivers pit and yeah, just spice the whole race up.
That's going to be an interesting part, and not really sure of the chances of safety car here, but Logesh should certainly be praying for one of those, because right now he's in the prime spot to benefit from a perfect safety car.
Indeed, and while we're talking about all these three, Pre setting the fastest lap 118.7, he has those hards completely charged up, and the gap between him and SSJ is 1.5 seconds now. So SSJ, of course, he did pit. So after he's done with the outlap, he needs to start putting in some fast times in. And yeah, Aradhya is right in front of them, and SSJ is not really able to catch up to him right now. So yeah, going to be interesting to see when he loves a bit and where he'll come out.
One thing I just noticed when watching Raj's telemetry is he's got almost full battery. Like, I just now saw him use the overtake out of Tosa, but he definitely doesn't seem to be using his battery at all. So it's a bit of interesting call for me, because usually you'll see drivers just pushing the battery on all the exits, trying to get as much you know exit speed as they could, but he doesn't seem to be doing that, which is a bit interesting to me.
I mean, he did pit very, very early for these mediums, so maybe, he's just saving a little bit of tires as well. But yeah, that's really interesting. But now that you have pointed it out, it does, just it is pretty weird in a way that he has almost 98, almost 100, and yeah, he's just saving it up for no idea what.
I was almost about to suggest maybe he forgot that overtake button binding or something like that, but then I saw that he uses overtake on Tosa exit, so that theory is out the window.
Yeah, or maybe he's just trying to slow both the Ferraris down behind him and just keep both of them at bay. And yeah, maybe a bit of strategy going on here by Aradhya, because when we see him competing for P1 or P2, we've always seen him under 10% of ERS and just pushing it to the limit. So this is a completely changed Aradhya we are seeing right now.
And we see yellow flag in sector 1, I presume, and that seems to be the Alpine of the real ST. Yep, that was not the real ST.
No.
I think that was be Baba, I think. Yeah. Oh, he's
Yes.
not part of front wing, so definitely something wrong going on there, and simply will be trying to make the most out of this as soon as we could.
Indeed, and again, all the drivers who are driving right now will be getting points. The top 15 get points in IRC, and that's a very questionable line from Baba, and get the tap as well for it. So yeah, Baba does not have a wing, but he's fighting his heart out just to keep simply at bay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was more of a fighting, more like him trying to stay on track, and the lack of aero just means that there's not going to be that much exit speed that he's going to be having, as simply who's having a fully functional car at the moment.
And something to look at is FIFA Kanak has also pit, and he's P8 right now. So not really sure what happened there. And Aradhya making a mistake all the way down to P8 now.
Well, Aradhya had boxed. He's on the hard tires now.
He is, okay.
Apologies for that. Lost a few positions. And cold tires means that FIFA Kanak was having an easy run at him.
And can you just check if FIFA Kanak went from mediums to hards? Because I think he was one of the drivers who was already on the hard tires. So
I think he went from mediums to hards. Let's have a look. Oh, something's wrong. Yeah, he has gone from the mediums to hards.
Interesting. Okay, so because I remember 3 drivers being on the hard tires, so it was definitely Logesh and Akash. I forgot who the third driver was. So yeah, makes sense. Ninja Zero up there in his McLaren, and yeah, they're still on those hard tires. They have to make a bet, and they will be making an impact towards the end of this race.
Yeah, that is gonna be for sure. Have a look right behind. I think there's a position change here. Yep, Aradhya has made a move past FIFA Kanak. He was closing up on FIFA Kanak by quite a lot, and he looks to have finally made the move stick.
And Kanak doing a very good job indeed to be promoted to T1 as a reserve for now, and yeah, showing that he does have the pace to keep up with these guys, and yeah, just keep it clean. And while I'm talking about that, Logesh has gone into the pits. So this is going to be a very crucial moment for him to just come out and start putting in some very, very good laps, because he was around 5-6 seconds away from SSJ and Pre. And we can see that SSJ is making a move on a lapped car. I think that is Babaji. And yeah, where does Logesh come out? He comes out around 8 seconds behind both of these guys.
And Akash Sononi has just joined back. But I think it might be a little too late. Let's see how it all goes.
Yeah, Logesh is coming out right behind Akash as well. Aradhya setting the fastest lap on those hard tires of 180 in a 1. And yeah, Logesh, in maybe a lap or two, he'll get back his groove, and let's see what kind of lap times he is able to set.
And Ninja Zero is also pitted for a set of mediums, and he's also out right now. So it's gonna be where they could go on from here. They're gonna be having definitely the fastest tires at the moment. So I definitely see them trying to close a lot more of the gap in the last 5 or 6 laps.
And another thing that we actually completely overlooked and actually forgot was SSJ getting a 3-second time penalty. So Free has actually kept his race pretty clean till now and is under 3 seconds on SSJ. So 2.3 seconds in between them. It's looking tough for SSJ to keep that P1.
Yep, and Akash Sonai takes control of the car, and the first thing he does goes into the pit lane to change for a set of mediums.
That was, of course, coming, because we did see that coming, because yeah, he had so much space, just lost out on a lot of time because of his car being on AI. And Logesh is let loose now to try, just go on a charge, catch up to the Ferraris, and maybe even make an overtake. But the only thing is, Logesh does not have that much of ERS, so we'll have to see what he does with that. Akash coming out in P8, almost 10 seconds behind FIFA Kanak. So yeah, a lot of work needs to be done by him as well.
Yep, and Simply is going into the pit now. A pretty late pit stop, I would say, after 17 laps, and he goes on to another set of mediums. So I guess he started on the hards, had to pit earlier to the mediums, and he's going on for another set of mediums. And Logesh gets another 3-second penalty, which means that it's gonna be even more tougher for him to wrestle that race win away.
Indeed, but yeah, Pre is in prime position right now to get the win. Only 2 seconds behind SSJ. Logesh is, maybe slowly catching them up, but yeah, a tall order in front of him. 118 on the dot, and very, very good lap by him right there. This is what I was talking about. The mediums, lower fuel. Can he get back that 9 seconds in 11 laps?
I mean, it does seem a bit of a tall order at the moment, but let's see how the guys up ahead are going to cope on this, because they definitely got the pace to do it, and they've got the gap to manage it as well. There's not a lot of DRS trains or anything of that sort to assist him, but so yeah, it's gonna be a bit tight towards the end.
Indeed, and yeah, a lot of people getting that 3-second penalty, and few other drivers getting multiple penalties as well. The only drivers who have been clean till now are Free, Ninja Zero, Akash Sonavne, Catty, the real SD, who I think is still on.
Yep, I really do not see him joining back.
Yeah, so all these guys keeping it clean right now, and they do have a pretty decent chance of getting a few more positions because of penalties.
And the gaps have settled. Looks to be a bit of an uneventful race as it stands. So, yeah, I really don't know how this is going to end.
Yeah, the only thing right now that I am looking at is the gap between SSJ and Pre. And I think someone's spinning. Yeah, Simply did spin out, and he's all the way at the back. Is he lapped? I think he's lapped.
I think he is, yes.
So Simply not really having the best of times right now. In P12, of course, that does give him a point, so he's still going for it. And yeah, overall, the times really have settled in. And yeah, it's just a matter of seeing if you can, keep those tires alive towards the end. And between Pre and SSJ, can we just quickly look at how much ERS both of them have?
Yep.
So SSJ is on 44, 45, and let's go on to Pre, and he's on 21. Oh, this is interesting because 20% more ERS over his own teammate, and I think Pre will be getting a bit of help of, a bit of DRS serving, should I say, in front of him through Baba, who is also lapped. And yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if SSJ can get a 3
a bit
second.
of a moment there for the Pro, taking a little bit too much of the curve and the car just sliding sideways, but he did well to hold it there, and we see the delta just dropping down. So yeah, right now the priority is going to be shifting towards sticking within 3 seconds of SSJ.
My question was completely, just answered over there. Pre having a huge movement, and yeah, that's just unfortunate for him. Just losing out on a lot of time. Does not have that much ERS either. 8/10 away from a P1 if it ends this way. So yeah, he's probably gonna try and get that lost time back. The thing is, we don't even know how many how many track limit warnings SSJ or Pre have. So we could see a couple more drivers getting a few more track extension warnings. And yeah, we still have 9 laps left. So that is really possible. And we'll have to see where these guys finish, because we have 2 drivers on the mediums. Logesh catching up to Pre slowly but surely. He's 5.7 seconds away. Ninja 4.8 seconds away from Kapil, who's again on mediums. So yeah, towards the end of this race is going to be all just strategies and how fast and how much you're ready to risk your lap times to see where they end up.
Yeah, that little mistake or that little moment from Peter Pro definitely would have given some encouragement to Logesh, seeing the delta drop down that rapid. So he's definitely going to be having a lot more energy to catch up, but unfortunately his battery is a bit drained. So not sure how much fight back is going to be left. On purely on just the tires, or because the battery is a bit of a critical aspect to your pace.
Indeed, these guys do dump a pretty decent amount of ERS to gain a little bit of time and just be consistent with the lap times as well. So we did see that Aradhya was on almost 100% ERS. Let's really have a quick look on Aradhya if we can, just to see what ERS percentage he's on right now. And he's still on 57, so that's actually not too bad. He still has a chance of maybe catching up to Ninja and overtaking him, even though he's on the hards, whereas Ninja is on the medium. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what kind of ERS deployment Aradhya does, because Aradhya was on 100% ERS, and yeah, at least he started using it now, so that's good for him.
Yep, but also the fact that even if he overtakes Ninja Zero, it's going to be a very uphill task, because he's got a 3-second penalty next to his name, whereas Ninja's got none. So he'll definitely be keeping his fingers crossed that Ninja gets a penalty and he's able to close up to him. That's the only way he's going to be having a fair chance at, hitting after him.
Yep, that pretty much sums it up, because yeah, right now SSJ does have a pretty decent lead over Pre. He doesn't really have to push right away, because they have quite a few laps till the end. 3-second penalty, 3.5-second gap, that is being managed pretty well by SSJ. And yeah, there's a lapped car right behind him, which is just following him for quite a long time now, and he's just using DRS to just stick with SSJ. And that's actually a very interesting and a very smart move by Baba.
That certainly is, but the ghosting of the car is definitely making me ask some questions. Is Baba still in the session or not? But the pace at which the car is flying around definitely means that Baba is still driving that car.
I'm pretty sure he's still in the session, because we did see, the way AIs drive, it's completely different, and the way he's driving right now, just dumping ERS over here, and yeah, it does look like he is driving and just using SSJ for getting DRS and just sticking with him because this is a pretty decent pace, and he is on the medium, so maybe even slightly faster than SSJ at this point.
Yep, maybe towards the closing stage, he might be a lot quicker because hards will be dying out and mediums will have that bit of an extra life on them. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, only two drivers have been lapped till now, which is Baba and Simply. SD, even though he is on AI, has he come back? Because he has just made a move on Catty and he's still ghosted on the screen. So this
Not
is
sure. I'm really not sure if ST is still back or not. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on at the session at the current moment. And Kapil has also left the session.
Catty getting a 3-second penalty, so no idea what's happening with him. And if that is just the AI, what a splendid job by SD's AI to make that move.
Yep, that definitely looked like maybe Catty had a very bad exit. Something that caused him to drive a little bit slower. I really don't know what was going on.
That really is something that is, I would say, worrying. It was just amusing. But yeah, getting back to
Oh
Aradhya, and
no!
he's spun out. Oh, he's not had the best of sessions right now. He did have a spin. He did have a DT as well, and then yeah, it just has gone downhill from there. Akash Sonamde getting back to P7. He was in P3 comfortably, and yeah, just unfortunate to have that disconnect from the server. And SD again has overtaken Catty, so definitely something going on over there. Maybe the AI has just thought that I'm going to overtake Catty right now and just keeping behind me. So yeah, that's really amusing. And Aradhya again just not having the best of times right now.
Yep. So both the drivers who started the race in the front row of the grid are having a very torrid race at the moment due to different factors going on, and Ninja is making the move on disconnected car of Kapil. So Kapil probably had a game crash, one of those crashes up again. So I just got the problem that he launched his game, so he might be back soon, but probably not soon enough because Ninja just made the move on his ghosted car.
That is unfortunate indeed because we have seen how much time you lose when you're on AI. So we've seen that with Akash. Now, again, Kapil's AI also won't be able to really make that many. He won't be able to keep that pace up. But yeah, we've seen something completely different from SD's AI. So yeah, just completely, weird things going on right now. But yeah, Ninja 70% ERS right now, coming to the closing stages of this race. He obviously won't be able to make it in within 3 seconds of Logesh right now, but unless Logesh makes a mistake, because he has a 3-second penalty, whereas Ninja has kept it clean without any penalties. So again, overall, a pretty decent points haul for Ninja and McLaren. So yeah, not too bad.
So we seem to be making slight inroads, but very slight. It's not. I don't really think it's enough to cause any sort of panic of front row leader pro. Also, the fact that Logi's also got some penalties doesn't really help the case. But yeah, as it stands, I really do think the grid is going to be finishing in this way, except a few times he's going to be shuffling the grid up and down a little.
Indeed, Akash does not have a penalty, whereas the guys in front, FIFA, Kanak, as well as Kapil, they do have a 3-second penalty, next to their name. So he could, just salvage this race back to maybe P5. And yeah, SSJ doing a very good job of keeping Pre at bay. Has a 4.6-second lead. Kapil has joined the session back, so hopefully, he can also put in some lap times in so that Akash doesn't really close up the gap to him as well. So yeah, a lot of we just have 3 more laps left, including this one. And can we quickly go on board SSJ and see how much ERS he has? And because I think he pretty much has this, race win in the bag. He has 40% ERS compared to when we saw pre last time he was around 20. So SSA doing pretty a very good job of ERS management, and we still see that pre is also still on 24%. So yeah, overall they're doing a pretty decent job of just not making any mistakes, not getting any more penalties, and yeah, just getting a Ferrari 1-2, which we are, at least all the Ferrari fans, are raring to see in real life.
That's something. Hopefully they will be getting, but I really don't think it's looking good this season for them. But let's see if there is any turnaround in the development battle in the real life as it stands. But yeah, like I said, I think the grid has completely settled down, and we might be finishing in the same order as we are, unless something very dramatic happens in the next lap.
Indeed, Akash is only 2.6 seconds away from FIFA Kanak, and yeah, a 3-second penalty could just take away P6 off of him, and it doesn't look like Kapil is back into the race, I think, because he still coasted, which is again just weird. Doesn't really happen usually, and it does seem like the AI is still under control of his car.
Yeah, let's get upon the couple has joined, but for a reason, Top is struggling to take control of the car. Like I said, for whatever reason, he's still not in control of the car, and that means that FIFA is going to get an easy position on him, and more importantly, Akash is going to jump both FIFA and Top on penalty.
Yeah, we should, just bring it up that FIFA Kanak has done a brilliant job, just getting up to the T1 race, and a P5 on track is pretty commendable, I would say.
Aradhya Gupta has decided to pit for softs and go for the fastest lap at the end of the race.
Yep. Well, we know that he's quick, and with the tires, with a fresh set of tires and extremely low fuel, I'm pretty sure he will be able to get the fastest lap off of the other drivers. He's still P8, so won't really hamper him much with losing positions and whatnot. So yeah, a pretty decent move by Aradhya to get an extra point.
And we are on the final lap. SSA is just starting sector 2, and looks like it's gonna be a very calm cruise to the line for SSA, and both Ferraris matter of fact.
We did see him mess up his last run in quali, and yeah, we can literally see that he did have the pace. He did make quite a lot of moves in the first couple of laps, and yeah, overall a very, very good job done by SSJ to keep that Ferrari in front of the other Ferrari, and yeah, winning this, almost winning it. And there we go, coming out of the penultimate corner now, final corner, and coming up to the line, Weaves shows that he's won it. He is going to be a happy man.
Yep, definitely he's had a few torrid weekends in the past, so taking a win is definitely gonna make things a lot more easier for him. So yeah, it was a very well commanding performance, and Logesh comes home with P3. Ninja Zero is quite a while back. He's just now coming through the Rivazas, and he will be crossing the line to take P4.
Indeed, and Aradhya is still on his Hotlap. So yeah, we'll have to see where he ends up. Akash does get P5, and the FIFA Kanak commendable P6, and he almost DNFs over there, just sending the car a bit too much. And yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get the fastest lap with that attempt.
Definitely not helping his case, that little runoff at the exit. But well, I mean, this still was a race of what could have been. He still managed to get it. I mean, soft tires and low fuel load, but most importantly, how will that lap stand, considering that you had a very big off-track excursion, I don't know. That's for someone else to answer. But that's the race over for the Tier-1 Imola, and Ninja gets the driver of the day by the game. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say not the most action-packed race we ever had, but still a very good dominating performance up in the front by both the Ferrari boys. Just keeping it up in the front, managing the pace, and just gently keeping it clean. That's what they did the most today.
Indeed, 1-2 for the boys in Ferrari as well. And yeah, a pretty decent performance for both of them. Just kept the car on track, not getting way too many penalties or getting like going out of their way to try and put faster laps in. Overall, a very stable race by both of them, and yeah, a very good race indeed for both the Ferraris. Obviously, we'll be leading the WCC now, so yeah, overall good for them.
Yep, and we'll be waiting for the drivers to catch up. And we'll just go through the race director as we usually do, and yep. Well, why don't we just get the drivers into the DC?
Well, we are just I just got the news that Logesh won't be able to join us for the podium interview, and yeah, Pri is just on the way. So we have the winner right with us right over here. So SSJ, a pretty decent race by you. You did get a 3-second time penalty in between. Just talk us through the whole race.
Uh, what can I say? What's there to say? I am absolutely elated. It's my first win in Tier-1, and it's sort of like a dream come true. 5 seasons I've been here, and yeah, I've just been racking up those wins and climbing up the ladder. It's been a massive, incredible journey. I know, it's a milestone. It's not like it's the end of the road. There's much higher heights to achieve. But yeah, this is certainly a milestone. And also, congratulations to Pri and the Ferrari team as a whole, because we managed to secure a 1-2 in Italy, which is not something the actual IRL Ferrari guys do. So yeah, it's a massive achievement for both of us. As for the race itself, it was, the first few laps were at least a little engaging, because I did have to go through a few drivers, Akash and Logesh included. But although it is unfortunate that Aradhya got that drive-through penalty, that was the last thing I expected from him. But yeah. Quali, well, I only managed to get my first stint in properly. My second stint, that I could have easily gone pole, but then I completely, I kept messing up all of my laps. So yeah, I just went in with that banker lap and managed to make the most out of it.
That indeed was a very good lap indeed, and we did see that your lap, the final lap, did get invalidated. So tough luck on that. But yeah, overall you did win the race. When you got the 3-second penalty, we were just talking about Pri just closing the gap in. He was under 3 seconds, of course, but yeah, just had a slight movement, and yeah, you were able to just keep that gap constantly over 3 seconds. And yet again, SSJ, congrats on the win.
Thank you. But although, yeah, I don't know what happened. I was actually, even though I had the win in my hand at that moment, I didn't want Pri to just slow down. I think he was making a few mistakes here and there. And every time I saw that gap suddenly increase massively, I was like, no, Pri, please keep going. We don't want to lose to, Logesh also. So, yeah. But luckily, it worked out. It was a win-win anyway, because Pri also managed to keep himself composed and maintain that gap to Logesh. Yeah, although we had luck on our part as well, because Logesh had the penalty and Pri didn't. So yeah, good race from Pri as well.
But yeah, enjoy your win, SSJ. Yeah,
I will.
congrats on P1 yet again. Let's talk to Pri now. again, a pretty solid drive by you, Pri. We've seen you, on the podium a couple of times now, and yeah, P2 making a few mistakes here and there. Overall, how was your weekend?
Yeah, so to start off, qualifying itself was, I think, a good comeback after my first two laps, because the first two laps I did on the first tire, I invalidated, and then second lap I got that tow from SSJ, so that was quite nice. So then I could like kind of send it on the final lap because I had a good banker, a decent banker. So yeah, I felt like qualifying was nice, and then race start, I think I was a bit too cautious into turn one and into sector one, basically just to keep my nose clean and not get any damage. And then from there on, just SSJ was able to overtake the guys ahead a lot quicker than me and a lot cleanly, a lot more quicker. And yeah, then once SSJ then got his 3 second penalty, then I was trying to keep in that gap, but then I just kept making a few mistakes. I almost spun, like, I think maybe 3 times at turn two. Sorry, turn three. And so yeah, that I've after the third time I was like, okay, let me just take it safe and then just bring it home. But overall, I think SSJ deserved the win, and it's a great team result. 1-2.
Was a Ferrari indeed. You guys definitely have taken the lead in WCC. We'll have to see about the WTC in a bit, of course, later on. But yeah, overall, a very solid weekend by both of you. Congrats to both of you. And Deepak, would you like to say something?
Well, you had pretty much summed up all the interview questions. Unfortunately, Lokesh couldn't join us today in the podium interview. So, yeah, very convincing performance for the Ferrari boys today, and a well-established podium from Lokesh, finishing P3, and that is it for this weekend of racing. We have had 3 races in Imola this weekend. All the 3 tiers had a pretty good race going on, and we are still only halfway through the F1 season. So yeah, there's a lot more coming on, and do tune in next week. And next week we also got ACC League starting up season 7. So that will be streamed on Friday nights at 9 p.m. So don't forget to tune in, subscribe to the channel, join our Discord, and if you're interested in participating, just head over to our Discord, just head to the website, sign up, and to join us in the races. So yep. On that note, it's me, Deepak, signing off. Along with me, it's Vaga Turbo. Have a great week up ahead, and see you guys next weekend. Bye bye.